My name is Willie Hensley. My Inupiat name is Raruk, named for my grandpa. I was born in Kotzebue, but raised out along the Lil Noatak, about 10 or 12 miles from Kotzebue, which in those days was a long ways. We lived in 3 different sod houses out in the country, along the coast, and then further up the Lil Noatak, and then moved back down to Ikatuk. And it was a life pretty much living off the land. I mean, by a much greater degree, of course, back then than today. It was before the snow machine age, so dog team was our mode of travel. And really before we could afford outboards to any great degree. So it was a different world, and we trapped and hunted fur-bearing animals, which was the primary cash provider back in those days. And there was some work for the men in the summertime longshoring, but we essentially lived in a credit economy where the trading post would have a big ledger, and then the head of the family would have an account, and we would charge items during the course of the winter when things were slow, and then try to pay it off with summer work and fur. And that was pretty much the way of life back then. The lifestyle was pretty much the same lifestyle people had lived for thousands of years. That is, the same animal life, the same birds and plants and mammals. Of course, we had rifles and Coleman lamps and tin pots, but in reality, the food sources were the same that had sustained our people for millennia. And of course, the isolation was pretty substantial because it was, before the telephone age, before the electrical age, before newspapers or magazines and things like that, most of our people couldn't read, or could read only at a very elementary level. So our world was relatively small. It was our family and our community, an occasional trip to another town, up the river or up the coast.